What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Monday, September 20th, the day after the big Tundra reveal. I wanted to come on here and make this video. I waited till today to do the video because I really wanted to look over that press release in detail. And what we're going to do in this video, I'm not going to cover every single little thing that they talked about in the press release. It would just take way too long. There's other videos out there that have already done it, and they're like, some of the live streams are pushing 2 hours. It's just crazy. I don't want to take up that much time making this video. So I want to touch on the important parts, the, obvious upgrades that they've made and little things that caught my attention. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because as soon as we get this truck, the 2022 Tundra, we will be tearing it apart just like we did with this 2020 Platinum. So if you want to check out all the videos we have on the 2020 Platinum, they're here on the channel. We've done a lot of customizing to this truck, a lot of projects, and I kind of walk you through it step by step. But as soon as we get that next gen, I'll be doing the same thing. And it's obviously a whole brand new truck, so we're going to be probably learning some things together. You guys know me. I'm not afraid to just dive in and start ripping things apart and customize and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's jump in and talk about the 2022 Tundra and what really caught my attention in this press release. All right, guys, let's jump right underneath the hood to get us started. Let's talk about the engine. I made myself some notes here because there was so much information released yesterday. But basically, the engine we're going to get, 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, 10-speed automatic transmission. And the engine, the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, is coming in two different options. The standard option produces 389 horses, 479 pound-foot of torque. The iForce Max, which is the hybrid version, that's going to come standard in the TRD Pro. So just so you guys know, if you want a TRD Pro, you can only get it with the iForce Max, the hybrid version, and that's going to produce 437 horsepower with 583 pound-foot of torque. Those numbers are pretty impressive to me anyway. I mean, that's, we're looking at a pretty good upgrade there for sure. Now, I was one of the first ones to kind of be a little disappointed when the V8, when we speculated that the V8 was going to be gone. But I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited for this iForce Max. I want to see what this is all about. And 583 pounds of torque, I mean, that's not bad at all. So as I mentioned, 10-speed automatic transmission, that's what we're getting underneath the hood. The iForce Max, as I mentioned, standard on the TRD Pro. You can get it. It's an available option on the Platinum, Limited, and 1794. I'm not sure about the SR5. I'll find out that answer and I'll put it on the screen for you. Hopefully I remember. But I know you can get it as an option in the Platinum, Limited, and 1794. Just so you're aware, on the hybrid option, it's a 288 volt sealed nickel metal hydrid battery, and that's going to be up underneath the rear seats. So where we would usually have our storage, that's where that battery is going to be housed. So I'm not too sure how I feel about that, only because if you go with the hybrid version, that the iForce Max, you're going to lose that option for under seat rear storage, unless there's some way you can kind of reconfigure it, which again, when I get this truck, you guys know me, if you've been around the channel, I'm not afraid to just start ripping things apart and seeing how we can customize things and change things around. So we'll have to stay tuned on that. But as of right now, the battery for the iForce Max is going to be underneath the seats in the rear of the truck. So you're going to lose that option for under seat storing back there as of now. So the towing has also been increased, of course. We are going to be able to tow up to 12,000 pounds. Now that's for the base models like the SR5s. Once you start getting up to the crew cabs with the Platinums and the TRD Pro, it's going to be well over 11,000, but it's not going to quite be at that 12,000. It will be slightly lower than that rated 12K, but not bad at all. And the payload also went up, I believe 11% or 17%, something like that. But the payload on the next gen is going to be 1,940 pounds. So again, I mean, it might be a little bit lower than some we're hoping for as far as the payload, but I don't think it's that bad at all. So that's what we're looking at for towing and payload. Now, the frame of the truck and the bed of the truck have also been redesigned and redone. They've made some pretty good improvements here. So it says it's a new high-strength boxed steel ladder frame, and it's an aluminum reinforced composite bed. All right, so the high-strength steel throughout the chassis increases rigidity considerably over the previous generation, while the aluminum is used in key areas. I believe the hood, the front door, I believe, is what I read, and from the research I've done, is also aluminum, just to save on weight. So overall, just in a nutshell, they've made some big improvements to the frame of the truck. They've made it a little bit wider in the rear, and I believe in the front as well. Don't quote me on the front, but in the rear it's slightly wider, just to help with stability. You know, you're not going to have as much roll during turns and things like that. They've also increased the size of certain components on the truck, you know, like the caster, and just little things here and there that they did to make improvements on this truck that's all going to help with, you know, durability, stability, and, you know, just an overall better driving experience. All right, so again, pretty huge improvements. I mean, these are things that some of us might not care about, but at the end of the day, it's improvements to the truck, and I'm pretty excited to see how this next gen drives. The bed is also very lightweight and durable. It's made out of sheet molded compound, SMC as they're calling it. It also has reinforced aluminum cross members on the bed. So again, it's just going to make it much more durable and, you know, much stronger, while also saving on some weight. The tailgate is also 20% lighter than previous generations. And speaking of the tailgate, there's a couple cool features that I just wanted to mention real quick. There is, if you guys seen the video out there, you may have seen this feature already, but there's a little button on the tail light. It's almost like a hidden button. I mean, it's not hidden well, but it's on the tail light, and you might not notice it at first, but you can actually let your tailgate down by pushing this button on the tail light, which is a pretty cool feature. You know, if your hands are full, you can hit it with your elbow or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm guessing you're going to have your key fob on you, just like the smart door, you know, the smart locks, where if you don't have your key and you press that button, nothing's going to happen, obviously. I would imagine, anyway, that's not confirmed, but I would imagine you're going to have your key on you and able to use that button to lower your tailgate. I would hope, anyway, so that way, you know, if not, anybody's going to be able to just walk up to the truck, whether it's locked or unlocked, and open up the tailgate. But pretty cool little feature. And again, 20% lighter from what I hear and from what I'm seeing. This tailgate is very, very light, very easy to raise. It, of course, has the dampening coming down. You know, it's got that soft, whatever you want to call it, soft catch as it comes down, so it won't slam down. So overall, some improvements to the tailgate as well. So we touched on the suspension real quick, but it goes on to say it's a newly developed double wishbone front suspension. So the front is going to be a double wishbone, and it goes on to talk about some, you know, some other details with the suspension and why it's improved and all that good stuff. Certain things that a lot of viewers aren't going to care about, you know, talking about caster trail and all that good stuff. But the rear is, it says the Tundra standard twin tube shocks at the front and rear of the truck. Shock absorbers feature triple oil seals and extended dust covers for added protection and durability. And then it goes on to say beefy new aluminum forged knuckles to optimize weight. Steel inserts for the ball joints to prevent corrosion and stress cracks. And then, of course, the TRD off-road packages will get the monotube Bilstein shocks, you know, for that upgrade as well. So, and then of the TRD Pro, I'm sure you guys know and are aware, the TRD Pro will have the Fox shocks and suspension as well. All right, so that about covers the suspension. The one other thing on that is that the air ride system. So it says the new air suspension to the rear of the truck, available on certain grades. The system features automatic and manual leveling functions. It features height modes of high, low, and normal. The high setting is designed for slow speed off-road driving, and it will return to normal height if truck exceeds 18 miles an hour. It also optimizes damping to reduce roll rigidity for off-road driving. Low height mode allows for ease of loading and unloading, and it will return to normal height once the truck exceeds speeds of 8 miles per hour. That's a pretty cool feature, I'm not gonna lie. I could see that coming in handy, especially for guys who tow or off-road or whatever. Your daily driver, that might not matter as much, but that's a pretty cool feature. I'm excited for that air suspension for sure. We're also getting TSS 2.5, Toyota Safety Sense. I have that on the 2020 Platinum. I really like those features. The good thing is this is going to be the TSS 2.5 is going to be on all of the trims no matter what. So any Tundra you get for 2022 is going to have the TSS 2.5 safety system on it. We're also getting the Mtm Multi-Terrain Monitor and the PVM Panoramic View Monitor. Now, these are systems that are going to help you if you're off-roading. It's basically cameras all around the truck that gives you kind of that bird's eye view, if you will, view of the truck and the surroundings. Now that is another feature I'm super excited about. I really wish they, you know, the trucks that we have now, the 19s, 2021s, I wish they had that feature in it, but I'm excited that we're going to get it in the next gen. And from what I've seen, it's a pretty good picture, pretty detailed, and it's going to come in handy for sure. Now, color options for the next gen. It says here it's going to be offered in super white, wind chill pearl, magnetic gray metallic MGM, celestial silver metallic, midnight black metallic, supersonic red, army green, lunar rock, blueprint, smoked mesquite, that's for limited or 1794, and then the TRD Pro exclusive is solar octane. Now there's two different colors in this list that I am excited about. If I go with a TRD Pro for the 2022, I love that solar octane. I'll put a picture on your screen. I'm not usually into like real bright colors like that on vehicles, especially on trucks, but there's something about that solar octane color that I absolutely love. That may be a huge reason I consider the TRD Pro. That color is phenomenal. The other color, if I don't go with a TRD Pro, is that blueprint. It's like a dark blue. I mean, you guys know, if you've been around the channel, blue is my color. You know, blue is my favorite color by far. My dog is even named Blue. But that blueprint color, it's like a darker blue than we're used to seeing on the Tundra, and I definitely like that as well. But man, that solar octane, tell me what you guys think. Let me know down below. But that solar octane color, man, that really caught my attention. I'm a fan of that color for sure. Now, before we go any further, speaking of the trims and the double cab versus crew max, one thing that I am super excited about, and I'm sure a lot of us are, you can now get the crew max with a 6.5 foot bed, a standard size bed. That's pretty big. The double cab, you're going to be able to get with a 6.5 or an 8 foot bed, 8.1 foot bed. The crew max, you're going to have the option of the short bed, the 5.5 like we're used to, but you can now also get the crew max with the 6.5 foot standard size bed. So that's pretty big as well. I know a lot of us really wanted a standard size bed, and we finally got it. Heading into the interior of the truck. So the TRD Pro is coming standard with that 14-inch screen. It's a massive screen. I love the fact that they went landscape mode, you know, horizontal, not up and down vertical like you see in some other brands of trucks. I absolutely prefer the fact that it's horizontal and not vertical. 14-inch screen, it's massive. But I got to be honest, after seeing more pictures and seeing the truck in better detail now, I don't think it looks that out of place. I actually think it looks really good, and I'm excited for that. So 14-inch screen, stock on the TRD Pro. You're now, I don't know if it's going to be stock on the Platinum 1794 Limited, the other higher trims. It's obviously going to be an option if it's not stock, but we'll have to wait and see on that. The other screen on the interior of the truck is the gauge cluster. Now, on the TRD Pro, of course, it's going to be stock. It's a 12-inch digital gauge cluster behind the steering wheel, and it actually looks pretty cool. It's startup. It has a few different you know, screens that come on, Tundra screens and things like that. It looks pretty neat. Now, I do know on the Platinum 1794 and limited trims, if you get the iForce Max, the hybrid engine, you will also get that 12-inch digital gauge cluster behind the steering wheel. Okay, other than that, it might be an option. Again, we'll have to wait and see. We don't have 100% of the details on how all these things are going to play out, but if you get the iForce Max with the Platinum Limited or 1794, you will also get that 12-inch digital screen display behind the steering wheel. TRD Pro comes standard with it, of course. One thing I want to touch on real quick is the attention to detail with this truck. Right from, you know, the interior, the red stitching, and, you know, the red on the steering wheel, the TRD Pro emblem on the steering wheel, the red line on the shift knob. There's just a whole lot of attention to detail that I got to give Toyota props here. I absolutely love the Toyota on the passenger side of the dashboard. That is really cool to me. Again, take it or leave it. Some people might not like it. I think that's really, you know, a really neat feature, makes it kind of pop out. On the exterior of the truck, a lot of people don't know this, but if you look at the marker lights on the TRD Pro, on the grill, and even on the skinny little fender flares, it actually says TRD behind the lens. So it's just a whole lot of little things that I'm noticing with this truck already. You know, I got to give Toyota props here. They really kind of paid attention to the little things with this truck to help it kind of stand out, set itself apart. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this thing in person. All right, guys, so there you have it. I didn't go into crazy detail with this press release because there's so much information on it, and there's so many videos out there already talking about this truck. I just wanted to touch on some of the highlights, some of the improvements they've made, and you know, just kind of my general impression of what we've seen. I gotta be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of this truck when we first started seeing the teasers a couple months ago and the information started getting leaked out, the exterior especially. But this thing is growing on me. I absolutely love the interior, all of the features they've added, the design of it, the 14-inch screen. As I mentioned, I definitely think that does not look out of place. You know, I thought that was just going to look massive and just a little too much. It doesn't. So after seeing this truck in better detail, better pictures, seeing it in motion, even the exterior is definitely growing on me. So I think I'm going to be getting this truck sooner than later. You know, obviously, as far as release dates, they're not even going to be available until December. The TRD Pro, I believe, from what I understand, isn't going to be available until March of next year, and that's if they stay on track for that. With the chip shortages and everything like that, I mean, it might be tough to you know, that's their plan right now, to have this thing available in December, TRD Pro available next March. But hopefully they can stick to that. And, you know, with all the material shortage going around and everything like that, the chip shortage and all that stuff. But time will tell. But yeah, this truck is definitely growing on me. Let me know what you guys think down below. Tell me just anything you want to talk about. The exterior, the interior, the engine, you know, anything you want to talk about. We'll talk about it. You know, I'm always up for conversing down in the comments. I try to get back to everybody who does comment on the videos, so I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Now that we have more information on this truck, we've seen it now in better detail, we've seen it on in the videos, in motion, and you know, all that other stuff. To me, it made a difference. I don't know, call me crazy, but I'm definitely very quickly becoming a fan of this truck. And of course, there's all the comparisons out there. It looks like a GMC and blah, 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 blah. Maybe, maybe not. You know, I guess I would have to say, sorry, there's a mosquito flying in my face. Yeah, you can see a resemblance there, but I don't know. I'm quickly becoming a fan of this next-gen Tundra, faster than I thought I was going to be honest with you. So let me know down below what you guys think. As I mentioned earlier in the video at the beginning, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because when we get this truck, we will start tearing it apart just like I did with this 2020 Platinum, and I will document it all so you guys can, you know, I can show you everything I do to the truck, and hopefully teach you and help you out if you want to do some mods of your own. So yeah, follow along. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below, and we'll get them addressed for you. Looking forward to hearing what you guys think, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Take care.